guys. It is Saturday, July 29th. It's Saturday morning, so I just made some protein pancakes. And I just posted this morning my reverse diet update, so if you guys are interested in where I'm at physically right now, where my calories are at and stuff like that, you can go to my Instagram page at meganj.fit and check out those images. But I will kind of give you guys a little bit of an update because I posted on there that I am going to be lowering my protein intake, and I know that in the bodybuilding world it's like 1 gram per pound body weight, if not more than that, is like what everyone believes is necessary to maintain muscle mass or put on muscle mass while you're bulking. And honestly, I have thought the exact same thing for a long period of time, because if you search it on the internet, that's what they'll tell you is like 1 gram to 1.2 grams per pound of body weight. But recently I've been listening to a few different podcasts, and I've listened to and I've read some articles online, and honestly I think that I have been eating a lot more protein than I need, and I can use the extra protein calories towards my carbs and fats and still stick within that calorie range just by eating less protein. But I wanted to give a little bit of background about it because I think that a lot of people are scared that they're gonna lose the gains or they're gonna lose their muscle if they lower their protein intake, and in reality they probably are eating way more than they even need in the first place. So one podcast that I've been listening to is Mind Pump Media. Adam, Sal, and Justin host it. I absolutely love it, and I highly recommend it if you guys are interested in anything nutrition-based, anything health-based. They answer a ton of questions about the gym. They have their own programs, but I would definitely check out their website or podcast, mindpumpmedia.com, I believe. So check them out, but they have done a couple different episodes on protein intake, and one of them that I've just recently listened to was with Dr. Mercola, Mercola, and I've seen a couple of his stuff, some of his stuff online, and I just pulled up an article that I will put in the description box below if you guys want to check it out, but I wanted to just explain why an excessive amount of protein may not be necessary and may actually be detrimental to your health. So right now I am going to be eating around 0.7 to 0.8 grams per pound body weight, which is actually quite a bit lower than what I'm used to. So it was actually kind of funny trying to put in my protein for the day, and I was like, oh my God, I've hit it by like my third meal. I'm not going to share my specific numbers because honestly, it's whatever works for me is not going to work for you. You have to find your macros based on your own, your body weight, your health, your, all these different factors go into determining your macro numbers, your activity level, all that stuff. And so my numbers won't work for you. And these numbers I'm going to be using pretty consistently, but there will still be days where I'm just not going to track. But learning more about this, like I was really nervous about under eating protein when I didn't track, but learning that I hit my protein intake easily by going with the 0.8 per pound body weight, I feel a lot more comfortable not tracking my protein intake because I'm already hitting that easily enough on a normal basis. So anyway, to get into the meat of this video, I pulled up this article, and it really gives you a good idea of why protein may not be the best for your future health. And that's kind of why I am doing this. Like, I know in the bodybuilding industry, the 1 to 1.2, even up to 2 grams per pound body weight is like what they say is going to be the best for you. And I was like, there's no way that I need that much protein on a daily basis. And my goal right now is not necessarily, like, yes, I want to get stronger and I want to build muscle, but if half of that protein is just basically going to waste in my body, like, why would I add more to that? And why would I put my body through extra stress by having all that protein in there? My current goal is to just do what's good for my body and be healthy, because sometimes, the health and fitness industry, they're not the same, they don't have the same views and values. And so I really want to focus a lot more on my health, my kidney health, my adrenal health, all that stuff. And so this is very interesting to me, and I think it could help a lot of you out with second guessing your protein intake. So apparently Americans consume the most meat per capita in the world. But yeah, not a big deal. Anyway, so one of the things they say is people who get 20% or more of daily calories from protein have a 400% higher chance of getting cancer when they are older, and a 75% higher mortality rate compared to those who only get 10% from protein. So 10% from protein really isn't that much. And a lot of people would look at that and be like, oh my God, like that's all the protein I would need. But in reality, yeah, I mean, we eat a lot of people undereat protein, yes. But within the fitness industry, we're getting to the point where we have all these supplement companies that are pushing protein, and we don't need it. Like, we physically don't need it, and it could cause future health issues. Like, there are specific studies relating a higher protein intake to increased risk of cancer, mortality, and there's a lot of different components that go along to it, and I don't want to get into the science side too much, but basically when you consume more protein than your body needs, your body must remove more nitrogen waste products from your blood, which stresses your kidneys. So you're stressing your kidneys, you're stressing your adrenal system, and it says, and I know that a lot of people, like, anecdotally, I know that a lot of people have digestive issues when they consume a lot of protein. And I've also heard a lot of people that once they lower their protein intake after they've been super high, the digestive issues go away. So we're pushing all these digestive enzymes and probiotics, and yes, to an extent, I believe that they help, and I take them myself. But I'm also planning on lowering my protein intake and seeing if that helps, because I've felt really bloated, and I feel like I always have some sort of digestive problem, not necessarily extreme issues, but enough to where I can notice it, and I'm hoping that by lowering my protein intake, those might go away. And I don't need to add all those extra supplements in there when I don't need them. So basically, the recommended daily allowance is, they say 0.8 grams they actually say per kilogram body weight, which is 0.36 grams of protein per pound body weight. And that's just for like the daily average person. That's not necessarily for people that are trying to build muscle. But you can see that those values they're a lot lower than what we typically think we need. So on this article, I mean, it tells you how you can calculate it, tells you all that stuff, so I will put that down in the description box. So they say that those who are like aggressively exercising or competing, as a general rule, they should increase their protein intake by about 25% more protein than what the recommended daily allowance is. So whatever number you get based on your body weight, you add 25% to that number, if that makes sense. But basically, if you think about it, like I've heard a couple different people say, in articles that I've read, they say 0.7 to 0.8 grams per pound body weight for like athletes or anything like that is a good range to stay in. And even when I was taking nutrition courses, like that's typically what they said in my classes too. But because I was in this bodybuilding industry and this fitness industry, I was just kind of thrown off. And I mean, as a previous person that was in prep, I mean, I did stick to that 1 gram per pound body weight. But then when I lost weight, we didn't necessarily change the protein intake either to where I was at. So I was technically eating more than 1 gram per pound. So it's if you think that you are going to lose your gains by like losing all this protein, you won't. Like, there is a benefit to protein, and you should be eating it. Like, protein is absolutely necessary for your diet. And yes, people that are competing are probably going to need more than the average person. But if your focus is health and longevity, then I would cut back on your protein intake if you are at that 1 gram per pound range, 1 to 1.2 gram per pound range. Try 0.7 to 0.8. I mean, you may notice a difference in muscle mass, but honestly, it's not going to be enough. It may be half a pound, it may be 1 pound, but it's not anything that's going to be so detrimental to your goals and your, honestly, your health is the most important thing in the end, right? Well, it should be for most people, I guess. But I know that the competition in group of people, including myself, from being in a prep, there are specific things that we do that are not healthy. And there were things that I did to my body that were not the healthiest thing. But that is specifically for competition. So my thoughts about protein have changed pretty dramatically. I'm dropping my protein intake by about 50 grams a day. And honestly, I'm really excited to see kind of how it affects my body. So they also say, one of the things that they said on the podcast was desensitizing yourself. So people fast and they do it for health reasons. Well, I know one of I think it's Sal, he cuts out protein one day, goes super low on protein one day, and then the next day he goes back up to his normal amount, intuitively eating, I believe, but he goes back up to a normal amount, and then he feels amazing. He definitely notices a difference by kind of cutting back and then adding back that protein in. So if you want to play around with it, if you're not competing or getting ready to compete or anything like that, play around with your protein intake. You do not need to have 1 to 1.2 gram per pound body weight. If you are at that 0.7 to 0.8 gram per pound range, or even a little lower, it's not going to kill you. So honestly, it'll probably help you live longer. There's a lot more scientific evidence of it potentially causing cancer in the future and all those and a higher mortality rate, but it can help you live longer. It can put less stress on your kidneys. You'll be able to function a little easy. You might have more energy, stuff like that. So kind of play around with it. Obviously, the numbers are going to be different for everyone. If you know that you are super low on protein, then yes, I would increase your protein. You don't want to be so low that you either there is a benefit to having the right amount of protein in your diet. But so yeah, that is why I am lowering my protein intake. I hope that didn't go too back and forth on it. I will again put this information in the description box. And I'll post the Mind Pump Media website down there as well. I definitely recommend listening to their podcast. I have honestly changed so many of my thoughts about the fitness industry that I have been set on from the beginning. And it's pretty amazing. Whether it's supplements, whether it's just how you're living your daily life, whether it's how you are teaching your kids to make healthier choices. I mean, these guys, they're funny, they're easy to listen to, and they have a ton of good information and interviews that they do with other people. So highly recommend that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And seriously, if you have any questions, comment below. If you have any ideas on videos or anything like that, let me know. And don't forget to check out my Instagram page at meganj.fit. You can also, again, check out my website, meganjfitness.com. I offer all sorts of programs, nutrition-based, training-based, anything like that. I am currently taking on new clients, so if you guys are interested in that, you can shoot me an email through my website or DM me on Instagram. But yeah, so I will talk to you guys in I don't even know when, but I move in 2 days, so I'm super excited about that. My dad and my brother are coming up today, so I cannot wait to have some donuts and maybe some other good food. So I will talk to you guys when I talk to you, but have a great rest of your week.
When I was 6 years old, I broke my leg. And I was running from my brother and his friends.